Moving on to Curse 3, Blood Sacrifice, a.k.a. Panga. Panga. So this one stars Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Who is in it for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, somewhere in that area. I'll go with 15. And this is about a couple who live in, where exactly the hell are even they in this movie? Did they say the country? Not the country. I'm sorry. The province. What is?
I don't know. They don't say. I don't think.
Somewhere in Africa.
Yeah. A sugarcane plantation owner.
Oh my God.
So
it's as racist as it gets. So anyway, so they okay, putting all this crap aside, let's just the very basic plot is they have some like tourists or friends.
They have family.
Those are family?
Yeah, it's family that comes.
Oh, it's family. Okay. Whatever it is. They interrupt a ritual where when someone dies, this tribe sacrifices a goat.
Yeah.
To like appease this freaking thing. And the main girl's family member, sister, whatever the hell she is, she ends up freaking out and is like, no way. Very Kaylee thing to do. Saves the goat. And this causes trouble for all of them. What's weird about this is that her like friend, family member, whatever, she's the one who does it. And then our main girl just kind of comes over and tries to like be a mediator.
Yeah.
Right? And she's the one that gets cursed. That being said, she's the only one who survives. So technically, and people who weren't even there die.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like her boyfriend or husband or whatever he is.
Yeah.
He survived, or he doesn't survive, but she does.
Right.
So like the only one who doesn't die is the cursed one.
Yeah.
So the curse didn't really work all that well. But I just feel like if you're gonna curse anyone, it'd be the chick who stopped it.
That would make more sense.
Not the chick who was just there. But granted, I don't think he speaks her language. So I think he thinks she's like responsible for it because you know she's the one trying to step in and do the talking.
Maybe.
So I don't know. Anyway, so the way we should have started this is with the classic traditional. I don't want to get hit though for copyrights because this is such a famous song that we all sing in this country. How's it go, Kaylee?
America.
For some reason, the main character in this, the first time it happens, she's like grating something, potatoes,
she's
or
like disassociating and like chanting it.
Yeah, and she says to her husband, like,
singing. She's
trying to like remember home.
Yes.
And like basically singing a song from home. And we're both like, we're Americans. I've lived 41 years now in this country. I've never heard the Russian accented America chant.
No, nor have I.
And this happens multiple times in the movies. Another time when she's like upset and she's trying to calm herself down, she's driving and she's singing it again.
Yes.
And we were just laughing. Like, what is this? Literally, that's how it saw. It sounds like she's making like a joke. It's straight up like America. America. It's in this really weird accent.
Super weird. Unless there's like some old song.
No.
That we just don't know about.
I think she was probably, because I was going to ask you what you think that is.
I don't know.
But I'm going to assume that they didn't want to worry about like copyrights. So they had her like ad lib a song about America, and that's what she came up with. And they were just like, cut, let's roll with it.
Whatever. Sounds patriotic.
Because they didn't want like, America.
That's what I would expect.
That's what you would sing. Yeah. Is that really like under copyright? Would you really get hit? But some cheap ass movie like this, Well, this is really what he gives a shit. Would anyone really care about Curse 3 Blood Sacrifice, some girl
I
singing
don't know.
America, America?
America the Beautiful. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, that's the name.
Probably not.
Yeah.
she,
I
I don't know. I don't know. I really didn't like this movie. You had a fun time with it. And
It's not a good movie.
it's not a good movie, and I guess I had fun watching it with you, but like it's the worst of the three. It
Oh God,
definitely
yeah.
like this franchise has just gone. It
It's
goes
declining.
downhill. Like everything about this one, I think that the setup is super lame. I don't think it aged well as a film in general.
Yeah.
And I also like there's not any gore, there's no practical effects. There's like this weird alligator monster at the very end
Yeah.
that like doesn't even look good. It's like super poorly shot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So,
There's long drawn out scenes of
yeah,
tension
yeah.
build up to a climax that doesn't really happen. And there's just these long shots of like, and it's funny, it
Yeah, you know
happens
what
multiple times.
It reminds me of the Monty Python
Mm.
gag of him like running.
It does.
Like
I mean, it feels
that's
like a
what it
parody.
feels like.
It does. It feels like a parody of itself. Like there's multiple times. So the main girl, not the main girl, but the one who interrupts the sacrifice, who
Yeah.
does get killed first. So at least she does get the she is the one who does get killed first for doing it. Makes sense. Um, they like start. She's in a tent, and they start probably 100 feet, 200 feet away, and he like slowly creeps forward, and there's this like really bombastic soundtrack that
Uh-huh.
keeps playing on a loop. They had like one song,
Yeah.
um, and it just keeps like panning forward a little bit, and then it goes to her, and then it goes a little bit more, and then it goes back to her, and then it comes a little more, and it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it
Yeah.
does it for like a minute straight, and then it gets to like the bill hook, and then it like stops, and then it doesn't do anything. And then her boyfriend shows up, who like he's like dressed like with seaweed on his head or whatever. And then they have sex later, and it does it over again, like
Yes, the
exactly
whole
the
thing.
same scene
Yeah.
again. And then when you're finally getting to the moment for it to do something, she just screams, and it just cuts, and it's it. That's it. You're like, because for all intents and purposes, outside of the very very ending of this movie is a slasher movie.
Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, the way that it plays out with the weapon of choice, and and everything. I mean, it looks like a machete. As I said, it's a bill hook, but um, it looks like a machete, and everyone's getting slashed. You don't see any of it happen. It's got it's got it's got some fairly gratuitous nudity. Got a couple pairs of tits in here that are shot purely to show them. So
Yeah.
very slashery. That's the best part of the movie, by the way. Both the girls are very attractive in that way, so that didn't hurt the film. But what did hurt the film is to just constantly do the same like slow pan shots, cut to the person, amp the music up, little closer, little closer, little closer, and then they're dead, and we don't see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, that is lame. But it was making me laugh, and I don't know, her performance is bad.
It's bad.
She found it bad in a bad way. I found it bad in a funny way, and it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
So it's just everything about the movie just feels so underdeveloped, so silly, so poorly constructed, conceived, and executed. So it's a bad movie for sure. It's on MGM's Plus for anyone who has that. We just so happen to have that for From, and we just
Oh.
kept it. So we still have it, and I was like, oh, it's on MGM Plus. It's the only other thing I've ever used it for, so I'm glad that we have it for this. But yeah, I mean, the damn goat ends up dying
I
anyway, so it was all
know.
for nothing.
That poor goat.
they try to have some backstory with Christopher Lee because he like tried to save her, but then they try to make him like a red herring, and then he, you know, he had a sister, and his sister had a baby with a black guy, and then that baby, you know, died, and then they like cut the head off the dad, and the mom had to disappear, and all this stuff, and it was like he was building up this whole backstory, but at that point you're so checked out, and it doesn't even really matter anymore, and he's like really trying. And you know, it's Christopher Lee. He's great, and
I think they severely underutilized him as an actor. Like his character is
he
so
probably could
pointless.
They probably only could afford him for
it's so pointless.
20 minutes.
Yeah, they probably just wrote that in to be like, let's just put him in here as this character.
That's what they did with Dr. Loomis. You know, they could only afford Donald Pleasance for 3 days.
Yeah, but that's a totally different.
Sure, but that's how you properly utilize, because
this is like
Donald Pleasance is only in Halloween for maybe 20 minutes.
Right, but he's an integral part to the story, and it makes sense for him to not be in it the whole time.
Oh, he's the best
this
part
one
of the movie.
Is like, this character felt so pointless to me, and I just found myself like literally not caring. And then like waiting up until like the very end to make him into kind of a red herring, and then try and make the audience have some sort of sympathy because of his backstory. Like, it just did not work at all for me.
You know what did not give me like any feelings of sympathy is when this chick decided that she was going to light this literal entire like fucking
sugarcane field on fire.
It was crazy. She like went over to this woman's house who she was like asking for help.
Yeah.
And then she like lit her whole field on fire, and the woman just kind of came out and was like, "Oh, okay." And then I guess that was the guy who like cursed her that was burning up out there. It was, yeah. But then she also just takes, they just so happen to have like 2 lanterns.
Right, and Christopher Lee gives her his
like
lantern.
Here, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just go over here, and then I'll just burn him." And he just stood there and just took it. And then she ran out on fire, which really made me laugh. And then then Christopher Lee like embraced her and put her out. Yeah. And then when she came out, her hair was still like perfectly done. And I was like, your hair was just on fire. Yeah. But she like, when she came out running on fire, I found that pretty funny. I also thought the scene where Grandma came in with a double barrel shotgun and blew that freaking thing out the window. That was pretty funny too. That was pretty awesome. And yeah, I don't know. Our main girl here is the replacement for Chrissy on Three's Company. She is her cousin who comes and replaces her. So that's her claim to fame, is she was the replacement for Suzanne Summers, iconic character in Three's Company. But yeah, her performance leaves something to be desired.
Yeah, for sure.
But you get a good bathroom tub scene with her, so
there's that at least.
I wasn't expecting it, because usually, you know, with these, she didn't seem like an actress to me, because the scene, it's not necessary at all. Yeah. It's not a sex scene. It's not anything. It's purely gratuitous nudity for no reason other than for a pervert like me. It's crazy to me, though, that this movie, this is always so wild to me to look at what time period these things came out. This movie came out in 1990. This is a 90s horror film. Like, this came out like around the same time as like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's wild.
It's a really bad one.
But yeah, if you're like super into like African curse movies, like Serpent in the Rainbow or Tales from the Crypt Presents Ritual, or there's quite a few of them actually. This is one of the worst. So I'm looking forward to Curse 4 though, because I remember liking it.
I hope it's better than this one.
It's better than this one.
Good.
It's better than this one. In fact, I think it's the best of the sequels.
Okay.
In my memory.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it, but we'll see. I'm probably wrong. Probably gonna be terrible. It's just gonna be tits galore, and you'll be like,
"That's why."
I'll be like, "Oh, that's right. That's why I liked it." I'm a simple man.
Yeah, you are.
All right, guys.